The Red-Headed League. Jabez Wilson, a London pawnbroker, comes to Sherlock Holmes and John Watson for help, claiming he has been wronged by a mysterious league of red-headed men. While studying this prospective client, both Holmes and Watson notice his red hair. Wilson tells them that some weeks before, his young assistant Vincent Spaulding urged him to respond to a newspaper advertisement by the Red-Headed League offering highly paid work to only red-headed male applicants. The titular Red-Headed League claims to be an organization of red-headed men, founded by an eccentric red-headed millionaire who wished to provide for other red-headed men by offering them easy jobs for high pay. The next morning, Wilson was hired to copy out the Encyclopaedia Britannica, for his employer, Duncan Ross, for which he was paid £4 per week, equivalent to £556 in 2023. The work was useless clerical labor, performed in nominal compliance with the will of an eccentric American millionaire who wanted to provide for the welfare of red-headed men like himself. However, after 8 weeks, when Wilson turned up to the office today, there was a sign on the door announcing that the league had been disbanded. He spoke with the landlord, who stated that he had never heard of the organization. After having trouble tracking down Ross, Wilson learns that the landlord of the building knew Ross under a different name, William Morris. Wilson was encouraged to apply by his assistant, a man named Vincent Spaulding. Sherlock inquires further about the assistant, and Wilson says that even though he is the best assistant he's had, Spaulding is happy to work for half wages. This alerts Sherlock to something odd about the assistant, so he asks several follow-up questions. Wilson reveals that Spaulding is an intelligent young man with a passion for photography. He spends hours in Wilson's cellar each day, developing his photographs. Wilson also reveals that Spaulding is of uncertain age, and has an acid splash on his forehead. All of these details are suspicious, but it is the acid marking that reveals to Holmes that Vincent Spaulding is in fact John Clay, one of the top criminals in London. Holmes visits the pawn shop to investigate further. The job with the Red-Headed League had required Wilson to leave the house for 4 hours every day, so Holmes suspects that the job was invented to simply get Wilson out of the way, leaving Clay to work on something illicit at the house. When Sherlock realizes that there is a bank on the same road as the property, he deduces that Clay is digging a tunnel from the cellar to the bank, in order to rob it. The disbanding of the league probably indicates that the tunnel is now finished, because Wilson no longer needs to leave the house. Holmes rings the doorbell, and a bright-looking, clean-shaven young fellow answers. Holmes asks for directions and then promptly leaves. As he walks away, Holmes reveals that the man was in fact John Clay. Holmes explains to Watson that he asked for directions because he wanted the chance to look at Clay's knees. He wanted to see if the trousers were worn down at the knee, as this would indicate that Clay had been doing a lot of digging. Holmes concludes that the robbery will likely be tonight, because the tunnel is finished. Concluding that a crime is about to be committed at a bank near the shop, Holmes gathers Watson, Inspector Jones of Scotland Yard, and bank chairman Mr. Merriweather that night. As the four hide in the darkened bank vault, Merriweather reveals that it holds a shipment of gold coins borrowed from a French bank. Holmes suspects a wanted criminal named John Clay of planning to steal them. The men wait in total darkness in the bank cellar for the criminals to emerge from the tunnel. After more than an hour's wait, John Clay and his red-headed accomplice Archie break upward through the vault floor and both are caught by waiting police. Holmes manages to grab hold of Clay and detains him. Detective Jones fails to capture the second criminal, Archie, who is the same man who posed as Duncan Ross and William Morris. Holmes dryly assures Clay that his accomplice will soon be caught, as he has 3 further policemen stationed at the only other exit from the tunnel. Clay compliments Holmes on his thoroughness, and Holmes, in turn, compliments Clay on his ingenious plan. Merriweather claims that he doesn't know how the bank can begin to repay Holmes, but Holmes asks for nothing more than his fair recompense. Back at Baker Street, Holmes explains step by step to Watson how he managed to solve the crime. Archie and Spaulding, whom Holmes had recognized as Clay from Wilson's description, concocted the Red-Headed League as a way to keep Wilson occupied during the day, so that Clay could tunnel into the bank vault from the cellar of the shop. Thanks for watching the video until the end. We invite you to click the like button, share the video, subscribe to our channel, so you can easily find and watch our other videos and really enjoy them. Don't forget to click on the notification icon. Please, write your interesting comments, we would be really happy to read them. By clicking the end screen, you can watch that video too. Bye.